We welcome Shai Wenkert, father of Omer Wenkert, who is being held hostage in Gaza. Omer was abducted from the Nova Music Festival on the 7th of October. Thank you so much for joining us. We cannot imagine what you and your family are going through. It's day 121 of the war. It's cold, it's wet across the region, and Hamas is said to respond to the latest hostage release deal proposal in the coming hours. Your thoughts on the latest efforts around getting all the hostages home?
Thank you. I would like to say that all the negotiations that speak about the media and the broadcasting, it's not as much as we see, because we don't know if there is something. There was a big event in Paris that was with the headquarters of the Shabak and the Mossad and Nitzan Alon, and was also the Prime Minister of Qatar, one of the negotiation, and also from Egypt, and there are also from the CIA, that this was a big invasion that give us more hope, because they are talking about cleanups of release of all the hostages within several months. It's hard for me to think about the month, because I want my son back home. Omer was kidnapped by the Hamas on the 7th of October in the Nova Fest. He was only taken as a hostage. I don't know why, but he only went to a fest, to Nova Fest, to celebrate and to bring happiness and to peace all over. And he is brutally was kidnapped. And Omer is a colitis disease. And the colitis disease is a chronic disease of the stomach. And when he is going into stress situation, that I believe he is in such situation. And this is difficult for me, because the colitis disease is going severe, and this is life dangerous. He's in a life dangerous.
And Shai, to that exact point, we know that efforts in terms of the Red Cross were null and void. They didn't get any access to any of the hostages. But in January, there were reports that medicines were going to be given to some of the hostages thanks to some kind of deal with the Qataris. Did you get any kind of update or confirmation, proof of life, anything to suggest that medicines have in fact got to any of the hostages? What are you personally learning?
We don't have any information from the Red Cross, the ICRC, and not all what they brought, the Qatar brought inside Gaza. 61,000 or 61 tons of medicine aid that's supposed to go, some of them supposed to go to the hostages. I don't know any information about it. It was 3 weeks ago that Qatar did an enormous thing that supposed to go to the refugees or to the hostages, and we don't know nothing about it. About the ICRC, we know that they are not doing enough for the hostages. They are doing only for the Palestinian civilians, and this is not the mandate that they get from other countries to do the humanitarian both sides, because now they are doing and they are playing one side only. And this is difficult for me to read it. And if Qatar did a massive inside medicine for humanitarian, but I don't know if my son get anything from his colitis medicine. And after 102, it's it's difficult to think that the medicine, it's, I want my son home. I think he needs a medical aid. I think he needs a hospital. It's not about the medicine. Humanitarian for humanitarian, take out all the sick people out. They are not surviving over there. They are not surviving over there. The medicine, it's just a piece of medicine, but they need to take out. I want to take care of my son home.
They need to come home. There is no doubt about it. They need to come home. There is some level of cautious, and I stress cautious optimism about what is unfolding right now. But what do you make of the pressure from other countries? The US is putting pressure ostensibly behind the scenes. There were some meetings even with the Russian ambassador in recent months. What is your sense of the impact, if any, from countries abroad on making this happen, on making sure that the hostages get home and they get home safely as soon as possible? What are your thoughts on that front?
I think all countries can do more pressure about this difficult situation. We are in a difficult situation, and if we can go to Russia or to the US or any other countries to take out all the hostages out, it will be hopeful and it will be very helpful for us, because we don't negotiation direct with the Hamas. We do it with other countries like Qatar or like Egypt that are inside the negotiation. I think maybe also Russian can do effort for us. My son his grandmother is a Holocaust survivor, and we know that Russian is doing a lot of efforts to take all the hostages out. First, the civilians of the Russians. And second, they can do also an effort to take out the Holocaust survivor, the grandson of Holocaust survivor. They can do it. And even though the Americans doing a big effort for us, and our government do a lot of meetings with the government of the United States, I think more countries can be involved in this situation.
I certainly hope that these countries are hearing your call and the call of all the families of the hostages. Very briefly, tell us a little bit about your son. We know he manages a restaurant. He loves food, soccer, music festivals as well. Give us a bit of insight into Omer.
Omer is my oldest son. He's 22 years old. He's a manager of a restaurant, a big restaurant with he has already 40 people that he's managed. So you have to notice that he's a very clever, very kind guy, and all the people that work with him loves him a lot, and they miss him a lot. He loves soccer, he loves sport, he loves music, and he loves the good life. As you see the pictures, this is my son. This is what he do. He's only 22 years old. And I miss him a lot. I miss him a lot. He's a very kind and a very generous son. And I love him a lot.
And we can see, understandably, how proud you are of him. Shai Wenkert, we hope for good news, and we hope for good news soon. Thank you so much for speaking to us once again on I-24 News. Thank you.
Thank you very much.